Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Doctor is a Healer. Doctor is a Healer is a podcast created to explore a new paradigm of medicine, where science meets consciousness and healing goes beyond symptoms. I'm here today with Signe Dauschkamp-Platt, that's a healer, mentor, and transformation coach. And in today's episode, we're going to talk about the future of medicine, where science meets soul. So let's jump right in. Hello, Signe.
Bye.
Hi, Signe. Lovely to meet you. What do you hope will change most in medicine?
I hope relationships in between doctors and patients will change. Relationships in between doctors and medical systems in general will change so that systems will not look at doctors as little screws in a big mechanism. That system will see that each doctor is an amazing person, smart, with huge knowledge about everything, what can happen with their patients. Their doctors are or should be trusted. Their decisions should be trusted more. And so they don't have to blindly follow guidelines or evidence based something. And that's why they were studying for at least a decade to become a doctor, so that they are not screws in a system. And as I said, because of that, doctors will gain back their real power, their knowledge, and they will stop being secretaries like they are now for big pharma, for system, filling out different paperwork, so that they will become healers for their patients, and they will gain back their healing abilities, their deep understanding of how the world is created and how their patients are created. And I think everyone will majorly um, win if this were going to happen. Of course, pharmaceutical industry will lose for sure. That's why I believe that the magic will happen sooner or later, and big pharma industry either crash, either change, either disappear. I don't have an answer to this. And how the things are going for the past 100 years, it's unacceptable anymore.
If medical schools were rebuilt from scratch today, what do you think they should teach differently to prepare doctors for real-world healing?
I hope one day in a medical school there will be a program where doctors are fully focused on their intuition, where doctors are taught how to follow their gut feeling, where doctors are going into regressology sessions, each of them separately and in a groups, so that they can connect with their previous lives as healers. And of course, they keep studying medicine as it is. And of course, they should know everything about physiology and anatomy and biology of how we are created. But it gets back to focus on doctor as a healer, on doctor as a personality, so that doctors can become doctors with a capital D. And second aspect, that in a medical school, psychology would be taught way deeper than it is right now. Where knowledgeable professors would explain their students that psychology sometimes is almost everything. What's behind the sick people, what's behind the illnesses, and you have to treat at first your patient's mind, you have to treat your patient's energy, you have to create a field of healing in your medical office so that doctor can be this almost like a magical person who can hold their patients energetically, and each patient after visiting doctor feels uplifted, feels like their own strength is coming back, like their own power is coming back. And after each visit and each conversation with the doctor, they feel like, oh my gosh, I finally understand who I am, how I have to treat myself, how I should live, what in my life is disturbing me, and what should I do with this. So that this visit is not so much about pills, prescriptions, examinations, next visit to every other type of doctor, but it's more about meaningful and deep conversations, and that doctor sees their patient really as a whole. And I really hope one day this will happen in our medicine, and I hope it will happen soon. I hope that my colleagues, doctors, will become conscious and mindful and awaken very, very soon. I hope you will find strength in yourself to sometimes say no to the system and say yes to yourself and to your patient. And I wish all the best to patients who are listening to my podcast. And I wish you to find those doctors who are ready to see you, who are ready to understand what's really going on with you, and not just with your leg or head or your health issue in particular area of your body. I really, really wish that more conscious doctors, more conscious patients are in this world, and so that you meet each other. Thank you.